Hey, what's going on YouTube? So it's Nathan back here with another one, bringing to you a new video. Today I'm going to be bringing to you Amazon Luna. Luna is a new app on the Amazon Firestick. You'll find it in the App Store if you're interested in it. But after this, you'll probably want to check it out. But it is a cloud gaming service. So before there wasn't much gaming on the Amazon Firestick, mainly because most of the games were kind of like retro games or they weren't that good. But now you can really maximize your Amazon Firestick if you want to game on it, especially if you want to game without buying the expensive hardware. So this is perfect for kids or just somebody in general who just wants to pick up a controller and game on one particular device that they use most often, which is probably their Amazon Firestick. So let's get into this real quick. So right now I have my Xbox controller paired to my Amazon Firestick, and I'll show you how to pair it later on in the video. Alright, so right here we have a home screen, we got library, playlists, and I'm using my controller to just maneuver through this list here. And I do want to just give you, instead of talking about it, let me just open up a game so I can give you a quick rundown on what actually Amazon Luna is. So basically you just pick up a controller, you open your app, you click on play, and it'll connect us to the game that we're playing in the cloud. So I'm technically not playing it on my Amazon Firestick, I'm playing it on Amazon servers, like wherever they are up in, California somewhere. So when they say the cloud, it's just playing on a server somewhere in a different part of the world that you are, but it's running at super fast speeds, which is why you can game in the cloud. Okay, so now that I have Far Cry loaded up, and while I'll give you some gameplay, let me just give you some more background on Amazon Luna. So what you want to keep in mind is I am playing this on a Fire TV, but you don't necessarily have to play this on a Amazon Fire Stick device. You can also play this on PC, Mac, iPhones, iPads, and you can play this in a Chrome browser or on the web. That gives you multiple variety on what to play with, and also I am playing with a Xbox controller, but they do support a PlayStation controller, and you can also get the official Luna controller. The only difference from the Xbox controller, PlayStation controller, and the official Luna controller is that the Luna controller, actually you can just pick it up and it'll automatically connect to whatever device that you're using, similar to Google Stadia, if you're familiar with that, or if you've ever played it with the Stadia controller. It's exactly like that. It's called cloud controller technology. So it's the new technology within controllers where you can just pick up a controller and start playing the games right away. Also, you want to keep in mind that you can stream simultaneously to 2 devices at the same time with one account. Another thing is these games only stream in 1080p right now, but 4K content is on the way per Amazon. This is still in beta test mode, so it's still very early. So I'd say by the end of this year, they may have 4K content, or sooner. It could happen sooner. They do have 2 different accounts, and I'll go over that toward the end of the video, but they do give you hundreds of games that you can play. You can play them either on the Fire Stick or on your PC. Also, in case you're wondering about the speeds that you need to run something like this, although the graphics are amazing, by the way. Also, when I see graphics like this, sometimes I think that I'll need to have a super fast internet connection, but actually you don't. You only need about 10 megabits per second, which is probably the lowest package you could possibly get from an internet service provider or cable company. Another thing that I did see on the Amazon page is that it did say that if you do run a VPN, you want to disable it before you start streaming content. That way it'll make sure that everything's seamless and smooth for you on the Amazon Fire Stick or any device that you're playing on. Alright, so let's jump into some more gameplay.
Someone's not coming out of this.
How did you manage to get through that?
So this game is called Grid. It's a racing game. It's pretty good, but as you can see, the graphics are amazing. It's pretty smooth. I got no issues with the Xbox controller. They say the experience is a lot better with the Luna controller, but I don't know how much better you can get with this. It might just be that connectivity where you can connect anywhere. But this is perfect for me. I don't mind connecting the controller, mainly because I'll probably only play this on the Amazon Firestick or my phone, and it'll save the Bluetooth settings. But clearly I can't talk and drive at the same time. Alright, so we're back on the home screen of Luna. I'm going to use my controller just to maneuver around, but I can use the remote as well to maneuver if I wanted to. Alright, so let's go and jump into the library here that Luna has to offer you. I'm just going to scroll down the list so you can get a feel for what they do have to offer. They do have some big names in here like Assassin's Creed. They have Far Cry. They also have the Retro Sonics on here if you're curious about that. They have some driving games, shooter games. They got Division on here, Division 2 as well, Ghost Recon, and then they have Watch Dogs. But those are all the games there. There's a good variety of games as far as like, you know, shooter, adventure, different genres here. They got adventure, arcade, fighting, horror, puzzle, racing, RPG, shooter. I'm more into shooter games or a driving game, so that's where I would live on this. But for the most part, I mean, it's plenty of games for what you do get. I showed you a preview of, what was that? I showed you Far Cry 5. I showed you Grid, which is this game. And then I also showed you a game called Steep, which was the snowboarding game. But they have a wide variety of games here. They even have some sports games, not too many. They have tennis and baseball there for you. It's about the same as Google Stadia. Both of these platforms or cloud gaming services are both in their infancy stage. They just literally came out not too long ago. They're in the beta stage as far as the Amazon Luna is still in beta. So they'll add more games as things progress, as the user experience gets better, as people start demanding more games. And also a lot of people aren't even aware that they can cloud game, and they're probably not familiar with it, mainly because they have the PS5 or they have the Xbox, like physical consoles. But the world is most likely going to move all cloud, mainly because it's way too convenient. You don't need to buy the hardware. You can just use the cloud gaming service, and all you need is a controller. So it doesn't get any better than that, especially because there's no maintenance. And if there's ever an upgrade, they'll just upgrade it on the back end, and then you won't ever have to upgrade your console physically, which means you won't have to pay an additional $500 to get a console and then buy games on top of that along with additional controllers. So that's a plus when you think about the concept of cloud gaming. So let's get into the setup part. How do you set this up? So say if you're on the Amazon Fire Stick, the first thing that you want to go ahead and do is click your home button on your Fire Stick. And which means you're probably starting this for the first time. You want to know how to get started. So you would just search, go to the find section and go to search, and you would type in the search bar Luna. So you type in Luna, you'll see Luna app in the search results. Go ahead and click on Luna app. And then you want to download Amazon Luna. I already have it installed, so when I click on it, it's just going to open up Amazon Luna right away. It's almost instantaneous there. So very smooth. So you would download that app. I'm going to click my home screen again. And then from there, all we have to do is click on the settings. So we'll go to the settings icon, and we'll come in here and go to controllers and Bluetooth devices. Click on that. And in here, you have a number of options. You have game controllers, and then you have other Bluetooth devices, and then you have Amazon Fire Stick remotes. So we want to add a game controller. Once again, this works with the Luna controller, Xbox controller, or the PlayStation controller. Hit the menu button on the remote, select, and it's gone. So let me show you this real quick. So my controller is blinking, which means it's not connected. I'll hit add new game controller with the Fire Stick remote. It's searching. Most likely on your controller, you'll have to put it in pairing mode, which is this button at the top here. I'll just hold it and it should show up. All right, so as you can see, it just popped up, Xbox wireless controller. All I have to do is pretty much click on it, or click on it with the Firestick remote, and then it should be paired and you should see the solid light. So you'll see game controller type and battery okay, so it's letting me know the battery life on my controller as well to make sure the batteries aren't dead. So that's awesome. And then from here we can just maneuver around with the game controller. So if I click B, I can maneuver around all over my Amazon Firestick with this controller. And then the next thing, it's just pretty straightforward. You just open up the Luna app, and then you're good to go. There's nothing really involved. You just need a game controller, an Amazon Firestick, or one of the devices that I mentioned, a PC, a Mac, iPhone, iPad, or a Chrome browser, or just a computer in general. All right, so just a little bit more piggyback on Amazon Luna. As you can see here, it's advertising no waiting for lengthy downloads or updates. That's a plus, because everything's in the cloud. You don't have to update your games anymore. It'll all be taking place behind the scenes. All right, and once again, I did want to touch on that you can play Luna, Amazon Luna, not just only on an Amazon Fire Stick, but you can play it on a Windows PC, a Mac, a Fire TV, an iPhone, an iPad, and select Android devices. So not all Android devices, but select few. All right, so this is what Amazon Luna does cost. Unfortunately, it's not free, but it does cost you to play Amazon Luna on your Amazon Fire Stick or any other device. It's basically an exact competitor to Stadia. Stadia is not free either. You do have to pay for it, but the advantages that you get with cloud gaming, you don't have to buy the hardware, and you don't have to do any of the updates. You don't have to do most of anything, and you can play it on any device, which makes it the convenience that you're paying for. So you got $5.99 a month, and then you got $14.99 a month. At first glance, judging by the description, it doesn't look like much. It looks like you get everything with both plans, but the Ubisoft games like Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon, all those games, like the shooter games, well, not all of them, but most of them, all of the good ones, like the name brand, the ones that everyone knows, those are the Ubisoft games. So if you want to play something like that, you would pay the $14.99 a month. If you're satisfied with playing like Grid, like the racing game that I showed you, and a few other games that I didn't show you, but they were in the library that you could play, you can get the $5.99 a month. So something for kids, you can definitely get the $5.99 a month. You can't go wrong with it. It's cheap, and they'll have a good time playing it. So those are the two plans. Let me know what your thoughts are about Amazon Luna. I think it was all right. As far as for a first experience playing cloud gaming, I think I enjoyed it, and I would much rather play through the cloud than having a game console, even though I own an Xbox. So definitely let me know your comments down below. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.